10 top-rated places to visit in Switzerland. What if I told you there's a country where trains run so precisely you could set your watch by them, and where nearly 70% of the landscape is covered by mountains, lakes, and forests? Welcome to Switzerland, a place that looks so perfect you'll think someone photoshopped reality. Despite its small size, Switzerland attracts over 11 million international tourists each year. Not for massive theme parks or giant cities, but for something much rarer these days: untouched natural beauty, precision, and peaceful living. In this video, we're counting down the top-rated places to visit in Switzerland, spots that'll make your Instagram jealous and your heart slow down in the best way possible. But it's not just about pretty views. We'll dive into the stories, challenges, and practical tips that'll help you experience this alpine wonderland like a pro. Ready to discover where magic meets mountains? Let's begin. Zermatt. Zermatt isn't just a mountain village, it's the mountain village. Nestled at the foot of the legendary Matterhorn, this car-free town is where the word charming feels like an understatement. With wooden chalets, world-class skiing and hiking trails that cut through scenery so pristine, it looks digitally enhanced. Zermatt is the poster child for the Swiss Alps. But here's the twist: while the air is fresh, the prices aren't. Zermatt ranks among the most expensive destinations in Europe, with luxury resorts and Michelin-star dining pushing the budget boundaries. Also, due to its popularity, the town can feel a little crowded in peak season. Still, there's something magical about waking up to the sight of the Matterhorn glowing pink at sunrise. Lucerne. Lucerne feels like someone built a medieval fairy tale town, then surrounded it with crystal-clear lakes and snow-capped peaks just to show off. From the iconic Kapellbruck Bridge to the serene Lake Lucerne, this city blends history and natural beauty with such finesse, it's almost unfair. It's also a cultural hub, hosting festivals like the Lucerne Festival for classical music lovers. But beware! Lucerne's popularity means you'll often find yourself shoulder to shoulder with tour groups, especially during summer. Some complain the crowds take away from the intimacy of its cobblestone streets and waterfront walks. Still, Lucerne knows how to charm you anyway. Ever walked through a city and thought, wow, I'd live here if I won the lottery? That's Lucerne in a nutshell. Grab a coffee by the lake, take the boat to Witznau, and hop on the cogwheel train to Mount Rigi, yes, all in one day. Interlaken. If Switzerland had a heart for adrenaline, it would beat in Interlaken. Sandwiched between Lake Thun and Lake Brienz, and surrounded by towering peaks, this town is paradise for thrill seekers and nature lovers alike. Skydiving, paragliding, canyoning, you name it, they jump off it. But Interlaken isn't all action. Its backdrop is so breathtaking you could spend a week doing absolutely nothing and still feel like you experienced something profound. However, some argue that Interlaken has become too touristy and lost its alpine soul. Fast food chains, souvenir shops, and budget hostels now line the streets. But honestly, it's hard to complain when you're sipping hot chocolate while staring at the Jungfrau-Massive. Bern, Switzerland's capital, doesn't flaunt its status, it whispers it. With its well-preserved medieval old town, arcaded shopping streets, and the slow, meandering Ahr River, Bern is a city that doesn't try to impress, and ends up doing just that. The UNESCO-listed city center is a maze of sandstone buildings, quaint clock towers, and hidden fountains that make you feel like you've walked straight into a historical novel. However, some travelers find Bern too slow-paced or small for a capital. But that's kind of the point. Ever wish your city had fewer honking cars and more bears? Yes, real bears. There's a whole park for them. Bern is your place? Visit the Zicklog, stroll along the river, and don't miss the Rosengarten for panoramic views. Lauterbrunnen. Imagine standing in a valley so deep and dramatic, even Tolkien was inspired by it for Rivendell. That's Lauterbrunnen, a village of 72 waterfalls, nestled between vertical cliffs and snow-capped vines. The Staubach Falls cascade from such heights they seem to dissolve midair, and flower-dotted meadows look too perfect to be real. This is Swiss countryside cinema at its finest. But here's the thing, while Lauterbrunnen looks untouched, it's very much on the global radar now, and social media has turned it into a magnet for influencers and drone pilots. Locals worry about overcrowding and disrespect for nature. Montreux. Set along the shores of Lake Geneva, Montreux is where the Swiss Alps kiss French elegance. With its palm-lined promenades, jazz festival legacy, and romantic sunsets, this lakeside town oozes calm sophistication. Once a haven for Freddie Mercury and other artists, Montreux still carries that bohemian meets bourgeois charm. The Château de Chillon nearby adds historical depth to your lakeside stroll. But be warned, Montreux's beauty doesn't come cheap. and the upscale ambience might not appeal to backpackers or those craving rustic alpine vibes. Still, this is where you go to breathe in beauty, glass of local wine in hand, as paddle steamers glide across the lake. Grindelwald. If Lauterbrunnen is a peaceful whisper, Grindelwald is an adventurous shout. Surrounded by jagged peaks like the Eiger, this mountain village is a haven for skiers, hikers, and anyone who needs to feel the earth rumble under their boots. The first cliff walk, the Eiger Trail, and glacier views are just the start. Grindelwald delivers high-altitude thrills without sacrificing charm. That said, the village has seen a spike in tourism-driven development, raising concerns about over-commercialization and the strain on natural resources. Still, if you've ever dreamed of living in a snow globe or starring in your own adventure movie, Grindelwald's the set you've been waiting for. Geneva. Geneva is more than embassies and expensive watches. It's a global city with a serene soul. Located on the shores of Lake Geneva and surrounded by vineyards and mountains, the city is home to the United Nations, Red Cross, and some of the best chocolate on earth. The Jet d'Eau, Old Town, and sleek trams make Geneva feel polished but not pretentious. However, this city is one of the most expensive in the world, so don't be surprised if even a coffee feels like a small investment. Some travelers find it a bit too corporate or sterile compared to other Swiss cities. But look closer. Underneath that diplomatic exterior is a multicultural, multilingual blend that makes Geneva one of Switzerland's most cosmopolitan spots. Street Moritz doesn't just sparkle in the snow. It invented winter tourism. This glamorous resort town in the Engadin Valley has hosted the Winter Olympics twice and continues to draw royalty, celebrities, and serious skiers. With frozen lakes, designer boutiques, and five-star chalets, Street Moritz is as elite as it gets. But for all its glitz, it's also got incredible natural offerings, cross-country ski trails, hiking routes, and views that make you believe in fairy tales. Of course, all that luxury comes at a price, literally. If you're traveling on a budget, this town might feel like window shopping at a jewelry store, stunning but out of reach. Zurich. Often mistaken for just a financial hub, Zurich is actually one of Europe's coolest and most livable cities. With its sparkling lake, artsy neighborhoods, and buzzing food scene, it's a place where old churches stand beside cutting-edge design shops. Yes, the banks are here, but so are underground techno clubs, street art, and scenic biking trails. Zurich is efficient without being soulless, clean without being boring. Still, it's famously pricey, and some travelers say it lacks the alpine wow factor. But if you dig deeper, Zurich rewards you. Ever judged a book by its cover, then found it was your new favorite? That's Zurich. Rent a bike, swim in the river baths in summer, and hop between museums and local markets. Just don't forget to eat the chocolate. If this journey through Switzerland sparked your wanderlust, give the video a like, hit that subscribe button, and share it with your fellow travelers. And let us know in the comments, which Swiss destination are you dreaming of the most, or which one should we explore next? Until then, keep traveling wisely, curiously, and with a full heart.